Thank you to the 1000th power. Thank your way to gratitude through the magnificent power of being thankful, that is full of thanks, 1,000 times every day. Manifesting a prosperous tomorrow by living in a positive now of daily gratitude. Living a life full of thanks, of that which I'm thankful, by Coach Stefan Rudolph. Conclusion. Closer to closure. Quote, read, act, do, live, grow, repeat. End quote. To the reader who has now finished this book, thank you. May the intention of this story come true for you, an intention of inspiring you, motivating you, and helping you grow to face, fight, and overcome all obstacles in life. All this by now reading, learning, knowing, and implementing how to connect the dots of thoughts with your soul, spirit, heart, and mind in order to take action on them and grow. May this book have expanded your mind and grown your love for life, all by learning how to say, in so many different ways in life, thank you. May the new seed of thankfulness and gratitude that has been planted in you, for you, and through you give you the strength to grow in life. A seed of growth that reveals your awakening, exposes your struggles, and unveils the pattern for how to develop your own personal strength and righteous fortitude for overcoming all obstacles in life. May this story of experiencing one man's journey have helped you uncover, recover, and or discover a passion for life. All as I have shown that it is never too early to start, never too late to change, and never too perfect of timing to be present with growth. From a story of overcoming mountainous obstacles in life, from my own personal 14-year lockdown, may this story inspire you at your current stage in life to become aware of your path in life and make changes where need be for future growth in life. May it reveal the power of thought recognition and action implementation for changing your life. And may it show you how we must continually be aware of and be accepting of the fact that change around us, whether positive or negative, is happening for us, all in order to grow. As you have read now and grown now to this point, please continue to work daily on setting goals and building a successful future fueled by positive growth. All of this is done by being present in the moment of now and not living in the past. Instead, focus on living every day in the present to the fullest. The world around us is a better place to live when we work daily on the world within us and make it the ultimate place of happiness for us to live as well. One day, one moment, one present thought and action at a time. Be there and grow there by first being able to accept being in the now here of life, of which you used to view as the nowhere in life. That being having the ability to make the most of what you used to view as the least in life or the worst in life. Being able to turn every failed situation into a seed of growth in the long run. All is possible with the power of positivity. From here, you will then become accepting of this newfound strength of awareness and fortitude in life, for life, as you journey through life. I did so all by bearing witness to myself and to others on how essential it is for each of us individually in life to face our hardships and use them as a fuel for growth. And once having done so, I became so by moving and growing on from my past life. A past life where I had now discovered that my own personal decade and a half of lockdown had to happen for a reason. This gave me the opportunity to become a being of reason, a being of awareness, and a being of growth, all in order for me to find my calling by developing and growing my passion in life for helping others. And from this point forward, through the power of passion, patience, and persistence, I now do the same daily in helping so many others grow through my coaching and speaking programs. I help the open-minded listeners and the passion-focused doers enact growth by beginning to use a new learning process in their life. A process that I developed over the years in myself and through myself. A process which now helps the growth-focused doers learn how to plant the seed of growth and water it daily with action. I am now fully blessed and highly thankful to have gone through, lived through, and survived through such a hard, brutal path of discovery. A path where I realized and learned the fact that, quote, my life was never different on the outside until I changed my view of life on the inside. End quote. This quote came to me in 2018 as it pertains to growth through acceptance of past outcomes combined with action on future incoming results in your life, all in order for your new life to begin. It focuses on being able to face the truth of your past outcomes by taking blame on yourself where blame has been due to you. Then being able to accept and forgive actions of others in your past and give forgiveness to them in order for you to move on and grow on in life. This quote and my new view on life helped me to develop the ability of awareness to never live in blame and no longer live in hatred for where I was yesterday in life. Once I accepted this step, I began to accept even more in my life my current daily position in life. Yes, even if I was still struggling and life was difficult, and even if I put myself in this position in life, it was my new self relieving blame and anger on my past self. I then saw how all becomes good when you accept where you are now and take blame for your past and even your present negative results, all in order to begin to grow in life for a better tomorrow. Quote, what you put out in life, you will receive back in life. End quote. This quote focuses on using acceptance of your past as fuel for growth for your future. This success follows when you realize that it is the income versus outcome ratio in life that makes the difference in growth for you in the business of life. This being the income of spiritual growth, self-development, and giving back in life to others who are in your life. And by doing so, all through giving, you will be receiving. That being receiving the results of the goals and dreams you have written down and worked toward daily in order to create the dream of the outcome you've always wanted in life. This brings the power of change into your life. Change is fueled by action through acceptance of the truth about your past. From this acceptance, change will evolve and revolve around growth in your present, once you involve action focused on a whole new future. This spiritual growth income pertains to helping grow your new self physically, mentally, and emotionally in life by turning the negative into positive through the power of acceptance, appreciation, and the all-knowingness that you must go through and grow through this time in order to blossom in life, for life, through life, with life. I personally saw this truth from 2020 to 2022 when we all experienced our lockdown in life from the pandemic we lived through in the world around us. Yet I found years prior to this time period that by experiencing my own 14-year lockdown in life when it came to living in addiction and escapism, I now knew all too well what I was here for in life. I was here to listen, here to learn, here to grow, and here to help others. I had to isolate myself. I had to find my new self. I had to understand my passions better. I had to become one with the new me. I had to focus on growing the true spirit of my new self without having any negative energy vampires suck the new life out of me any longer. I had to focus on change and growth by focusing on fueling myself with gratitude. I had to focus on writing this book to help change and grow not only my world within me, but the world of so many others around me. I found that when our familiar world around us changes for the negative, we must be stronger than the change on the outside by being stronger in passion and in spirit on the inside. I lived through it all by being aware of it all, and by releasing blame from others and changing my view toward acceptance of blame on myself for where and how my life had collapsed. Then through awareness, acceptance, and open-mindedness, connected with the fuel of the heart, I was then able to see that what I had been through was a true blessing. I did so by knowing that I now had the strength to change when needed, but also had the strength to stay the same and not let my past, nor others from my past, draw me back in from my present mind any longer. I was now presently present and presently stronger than my past. I knew this strength would grow every day as I remained sober and reminded myself that I would never go back. I began seeing those from my past coming into my present life less and less. Yet every time I did see my previous life drinking comrades, those being the ones who were in my routine lifestyle of drinking, partying, and fueling ourselves daily with escapism through alcohol, they always told me how they missed me, how much they missed my jokes, and how much they wanted me to come back to join them for, quote, another round, end quote. They always wanted to pull me back into their lifestyle of drinking again to make themselves feel better. But now that I was 5, 6, and going on 7 years sober when I started writing this book, what they thought about me was none of my business. This is how I grew. I knew deep down inside that they didn't care about my health or wellness. They simply wanted their drinking buddy back to join them in their daily lifestyle, all in order to make themselves feel better as they continued to drink their life away. This now made no sense to me, and I found it better for me to spend time alone. That being by myself, through myself, in myself, as I found my true new self in life. A new self that was discovered through writing, meditating, praying, and growing daily as my own health and nutrition specialist. A new self that was a new being who was growing into a personal growth expert by working on discovering my new self in order to help others do the same with their own self. All this was done rather than dissolving and killing myself as an alcoholic by continually living in my old selfish lifestyle of drinking, gambling, and escapism. Instead, I chose to work on my strength to stay alive and grow in life versus escape and die in life. Now, every time my past life called me back in, I was able to see through it with sober eyes how I had now made my current life a life worth living versus my past life being a life worth leaving. This step fueled my life and made me stronger to obtain, maintain, and regain the ability to battle through and grow through even the toughest of obstacles in life now, all while completely sober. In the end, I found that in order to get through, go through, and grow through the hard times and become a better person and a stronger man, I had to take 3 simple steps in awareness. 1. I had to live in the presence of now by being accepting and all-knowing that the past was over and could no longer be changed. And 2, I then had to live through each day with love for what the day brought me, both the good and the bad, the positive and the negative. And finally, number 3, I had to live through today knowing that growth was around the corner and that when it comes to hard times, quote, this too shall pass, end quote. I now help others do the same, all by doing so and being so when it comes to taking action on change. Then you will be able to force yourself to push yourself beyond your limitations. These are all steps in your life to feeling good about your life and making the most of your new life. All this is done by forgiving those in your past and especially yourself, where applicable, to any and all failure you have gone through and now grown through in life. And from there, quote, the healthy self will heal thyself one thought at a time, end quote. My coaching programs were personally developed from all the experiences I lived through and grew through when it comes to knowing that, quote, my health is my choice, end quote. This became a quote I repeated. This became a daily quote that helped me to stop being so pissed off at everyone else for the sickness I put myself in during my past life. The alcoholism I grew into, the choice of drinking I made every day, the choice of always eating fast food, the choice of drinking sodas and eating processed food, the choice of gambling, the choice of not sleeping, the choice of simply choosing the path of death versus the path of life, all were my choice. Yes, they were my choice, but even when epilepsy that was caused by a football injury years prior in high school was not my choice, combined with all the seizures I had over the years to follow that were also something I never wanted in my life, I taught myself to stop blaming others. I then continued to teach myself to start focusing, forgiving, and growing my new self in life to be able to accept what I am in order to grow into what I want to be. Then, along this shift in my journey, life simply got a little bit easier as I told and taught along the way that, quote, "it works if you work it," end quote. So when I accepted who I was able to accept the limitless possibilities of who and what I could grow into. Quote, "The world that you see on the outside is a reflection of what's on the inside," end quote. By music artist Tubby Love, Paul Isaac, and Anna Sorrento, from the song Let It Be Alive. My life experience of turmoil and hardships turned into a life experience of growth. From this process, I created and now offer coaching programs on all levels that help those looking to turn their old life into a new life and make it happen. I've found through the shift of my view on life and the holy shift that I took action on in life that failure is a test for success. Yes, I know for a fact that this was and is true in my life and can and will be true in your life when you take the proper necessary steps to make it happen the right way, the positive way, and focus on growth. Otherwise, if you blame others for your failure, you will never grow. Instead, you must recognize that this test can and will help you grow. In doing so, and in being so, you will then begin to fuel yourself with the power of positive thinking and acceptance. All the while, as you open your heart for love, fuel your mind with peace, and make the shift in life to grow in life one day at a time. My programs entail the exact steps developed from my transformation that I found in the world of spiritual growth and self-development. Those steps of listening to that voice within speaking softly of change. I knew it was the voice of my soul, my spirit, and in my case, God talking to me and through me, telling me my plan and showing me my path. This voice within grew stronger, louder, and more confident as my life grew more sober every day. I heard through and learned through these directions from God that I needed to be proud of myself, all versus living the way I was living, being ashamed of myself. Pride is fuel. Shame is fuel. What I fueled myself on was my choice. I now knew that what I fueled myself on is what I would become in life. I had been living in the past for so many years, slowly killing myself from being ashamed of my mistakes, ashamed of my past, and ashamed of my life overall, that I was now at this point truly sick of it. I was now done being ashamed, done with excuses, and done being done, as it was time to grow. Quote, "Life, it's never too late to live." End quote. This quote became a factual context in my life overall. Having an open mind connected with an open heart led me to being fueled with a passion for life. I was 5 years sober, living in a new reality of life at 47 years old, and was now living proof that it was never too late to grow. I knew so by doing so when it came to shifting my view of the obstacles in life. They went from being reasons and excuses to stop living my life and now became new reasons and fuel to start living a whole new life again. By doing so, I began living my life to the fullest every day, even during the hardest days of my life, of which was a time where I had to live out of my office for 6 months and was homeless careless, and penniless for a week in the end as well. Yet from here, I grew in gratitude through all the hard and difficult experiences, and soon they became less and less. Quote, "Make way for the new you by pushing out the old you with appreciation for all that was you, all that is you, and all that your new you is blossoming into in life." End quote. I traveled out of my old you and into my new you by going from fearing the fire in life to fueling the fire in life. I burned through my past excuses and used their ashes as fuel to ignite a whole new present and begin growing a whole new life. I realized that, quote, "Your mentality is your reality," end quote. This means that the mentality we choose to live in is the mentality and reality we are choosing to become in life, through life, for life. Once I realized this fact and implemented this fact by having the combination of learning from failing and learning from growing, I came to a point where I now knew I had to help others who wanted help in doing the same in their life. I began teaching others the techniques I learned on how to be thankful for the experiences that life gives you. Thankful in all manners for the positive and the negative. Thankful in all areas, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Thankful for all that comes to you and all that is taken away from you in life as well. Yes, the latter is the most difficult to comprehend and live through in life, but this step can and will be accomplished through positive challenge coaching on yourself, through yourself, for yourself, and then by implementing a positive outlook and developing the ability to learn, change, grow, and live day in and day out in a positive mindset. Boundless opportunity for growth in life awaits. Once you learn how to use the negativity as fuel for the positivity, your life will be fueled into full abundance and growth. All is done so by acknowledging the past, learning from it, and growing from it as you continue to welcome all areas of positivity and negativity in life into your present. In doing so, you will begin to see the present as a present gift waiting to be unwrapped. That of a gift of which consists of the unknown, unforeseen, and unbelievable new strength that you will now present to your future, all for boundless growth. These steps that I used to shift out of the old me and into the new me are now offered in my coaching programs, both online and in person, through my coaching and speaking events. My goal is to now work with other coaches, speakers, and authors who have like-minded, heart-focused ambition for helping others see that in life, quote, "It is never too late to start over and start growing and living a whole new life," end quote. This whole new life is perceived, received, and achieved by recognizing, correcting, and implementing change and growth of specific entities in your life. Entities of who you were, who you are, and who you now know that you are destined to become in the near future. All these steps, when used with an open mind connected with an open heart, of which has eliminated in between the mouthful of excuses, are all keys for growth. This book's intent is to uncover the hidden meaning of the covered entity of the spirit in your life that is covered by society's standards for who we should be, what we should do, and how we should live life to be happy. These requirements of society began to raise questions from my spirit. Questions such as, quote, "Who is the I and who is myself?" Of which I began to ask myself with recognition of change in order to grow a new self. I then found through awareness in my most recent years of change and transition in life from 2018 to 2021, especially as we entered lockdown in our lives, that barriers which stop this growth are that of worry, anxiety, fear, and regret, all of which are the main fuel components for, quote, "excuses," end quote, of which block growth and continually attract negative outcomes. These negative outcomes can and will include that of saying, "I will do this," but end up saying, "I can't, I shouldn't, I couldn't, I wouldn't," or especially, I don't want to because this might happen. All of which are a combination of fears and excuses for what hasn't happened, but instead what your fearful past ego self continues to tell you that may happen if you continue pushing forward, all with intent to hold you back now from growth. As you have read, studied, reread, and become absorbed in this book and my stories of the inner being battling the outer being, that being the ego versus the spirit, I would like you as the reader, the listener, and the observer to begin using these steps. Move forward now and use these steps that you have now learned, specifically that of awareness and action, and begin to make it happen every day. That being, make it happen by continually working on recognizing what is holding you back through the old you. That being old excuses, old reasons, old blame, and any and all part of your old you in your now past life. Excuses, people, habits, and or any part of your old life that seem to be stuck in your present life, use them as fuel to push through and push forward through all adversities. Then the answer will soon appear as a part of your new life. In doing so, you will see that change must be a continual part of life in order to grow in life. I found that it's not what changes on the outside that should make a difference in your life. Instead, it's how you change and grow on the inside when facing adversities on the outside that makes the biggest difference for growth in our life. Sometimes you have to lose a part of your old life in order to gain a part of your new life. Grow with open-mindedness on this fact of life and begin to see, observe, and know that there is gain behind loss. Losing your health can and will be the hardest battle in your life. Yet when you lose it, as I did over time, both physically, mentally, and emotionally, I realized later that I lost it as a choice. It was my choice to drink, my choice to gamble, my choice to eat the way I ate and sleep the way I didn't sleep, and continually escape from life daily through addiction. So as you now finish this book, may it have done its deed and awoken your spirit of awareness on how you live your life daily. That being awareness connected with what you eat, how you eat, when you eat, along with what you drink, how you drink, when you drink, and every related daily step of how you live your life on a health-conscious path daily. All areas related to dealing with life on life's terms and handling stress of life without escaping from life. There was no one to blame but me in my story, and there is no one to blame but yourself when it comes to excuses and reasons for not changing when change is necessary in your life. Recognize this as the old self that wants to dissolve your health. Dissolve in one way or another by eating your way into weight gain, obesity, and related illnesses, and or drink your way into alcoholism, diabetes, and eventual death. Know how, quote, the healthy self will heal thyself one thought at a time, end quote. This was a new pattern of common sense I developed for me to learn from and grow from through the clarity of sobriety. I developed it as it became a set path that was not common until I worked daily for years to make it common. This being the time that I entered the new beginning point of the new being in my life, being at a true point of a new life. This being the point of transition from year 4 drifting into year 5 of my sobriety, when it all became a commonality for me to have daily gratitude for this new life. May my story show you how I faced blame in order to grow and how I ended one life to begin another. If and when you are at a transition point in life, may this story help you to see that there is no one to blame but yourself when it comes to excuses and reasons for not changing. Recognize this old self as one that is full of excuses and blame that wants to dissolve your health. Dissolve in one way or another by eating your way into weight gain, obesity, and related illnesses, and or drink your way into alcoholism, diabetes, and eventual death. Know how the healthy self will heal thyself one thought at a time. From this point, where I recognized this and took action on it, then as the old mind of the addict subsided and left, the new mind of growth and prosperity took over in my life. It then grew into the commonality of a new normality of the aforementioned personality I was developing in myself through positivity in everyday life. It was amazingly easy now to implement in life. And by doing so, and knowing so, and repeating so, now it all made perfect sense to me to see so, be so, and do so, all in order to grow. If your brain controls your mind, the evolution and progress of growth will be limited. But when your mind is open to be fueled by the heart and then control your brain, growth to take action is unlimited. I saw in myself, through myself, for myself, that the need, desire, and fortitude for taking action to grow takes place in the mind, as the brain is programmed to limit itself to what it already knows. The mind is limitless. The mind, when connected and fueled with the heart, can and will eliminate the mouthful of excuses in between these two entities, and therefore hold unlimited power of growth. Be ready for growth and know that your new ultimate unlimited being of power is ready to grow and prosper through the power of love for life. Go now and grow now as you hold this bountiful power of love and have the unbelievable opportunity to take advantage of health, wellness, and personal growth, that of which is seated now in the present and growing and waiting for you in your future. All as you unleash a bold, bountiful, holy shift of abundance and growth. Patience is the key for sending the once domineering personality trait of impatience into your past. Do so by turning the impatient into I'm patient, by turning the impractical into I'm practical, all by turning the imbalanced into I'm balanced, and you will then turn the impossible into I'm possible in your life and the lives of others around you, as I have now. Do so and grow so by looking at life a little bit differently every day. See the ending point of your goals more clearly by seeing the learning points along the way from the beginning. See it all in the moment of now, N-O-W. These acronyms are for Now, Own, One. Reverse this word now around and you have the word one. Mix the word up and you have own. Quote, own the moment of now and you have won the moment of life. End quote. Move forward in the now by living in the present tense of the present, and you will fuel the future from this point forward with the daily ambition of achieving your dreams and never giving up on anything in life. Whether it be weight loss, muscle gain, nutrition areas of life, and or financial growth areas of life. By living and growing through your new self daily, you will grow out of your old self in the areas of physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Own yourself. Take account for yourself. Take responsibility for yourself and have the ability to respond in yourself, for yourself, with yourself, by yourself, through yourself, in the new self. All by once again using the, quote, Control-Alt-Delete, reset your mind, reset your life, end quote, method and pattern for growth in life. Blame less by turning the FUs to thank yous. And from here, you will begin to thank yourself and thank those around you that your past self felt were to blame for your losses and blame for your failures and struggles in life. Here, you will see that others were not to blame. They were simply water for the seeds of growth in your learning process for a brighter, more bountiful future. A future reality that you create daily within yourself, for yourself, by yourself, in order to gain that new self, the ultimate self that is now living a whole new life. Yes, you are the new you. Go now and grow now, and forever be thankful for today, yesterday, and tomorrow's effervescent being of an actuality of your dream coming into reality. God bless you and thank you. That being, thank you to the 1000th power. Coach Stefan Rudolph. And to the Father who was, thank you for leading your life on your own path. By doing so, you taught me to grow, you taught me to flourish, you taught me to live, and you taught me to love. You also taught me most off how to obtain and maintain the ultimate strength in life, that of being a man and that of living life on my own. Without you not being there, I would have never grown in life and never been able to make this ultimate Rocky Balboa comeback in life. And now by doing so and helping so many others worldwide do the same, now through my inspirational story of which you inspired me to live, I am inspired to live every day to the fullest by living with heart and never relying on others. I thank you to the 1000th power, as I thank you 1000 times with heart, through heart, from the bottom of my heart, for the love I now have with all of my heart for you, and especially for life. I love you. Your biological son, Stefan Rudolph. If you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it was never meant to be.